12,402. So, I coming back to my speaking practice exercise, which I abandoned for a couple of hundreds of days. I remember last time I was talking to myself and recording a video at the morning, approximately 180 days ago. So it was, I don't, it's not about remembering stuff. So I just watched it, and the last day was recorded 12,224. And after that, I had lots of other things to do as well. And I practiced my writing, I practiced self-talk while recording my speech on a tape recorder, and and also I practiced self-talk, and I recorded some videos on camera, but they weren't especially designed for like practicing self-talk. I used them to discover something, like to develop a theme, to think about something in particular, but mostly, as I said, it was just like not spontaneous talks, and it wasn't scheduled. There was no sequences, and that's why I that's why I haven't practiced. Well, yeah, the point is right now that I want to continue my practice, and since the time when I practiced my self-talk every day, there's lots of things changed. So I started working on my speaking club, like seriously, yeah, and exactly the time when I finished talking to myself, it was the time when I started working on my speaking club. And every week I prepare a certain topic, I work on this topic, I discover it really I spent a lot of time working on these topics, and it works pretty well, I would say, because the speaking club improved for from being half a year ago. There was few people, 5, 4, 6, 7 people visiting the club, and the way how I managed to conduct it was much worse than it is right now. And now there are usually 15, 20 people at every setting, and I do a perfect job. I am always prepared. I feel pretty confident, and not all the time, but mostly it turns out that I can develop a great conversation. So as I said, not all the time. Sometimes it turns not so well, but most of the time it's like I feel satisfied after doing this stuff. So after having a speaking club, I'm going to home and I think, well, this was awesome, and next time I will do it much better, and next time I will do it much better. So as I said, I'm working a lot in preparation. I write, for example, last week there was a theme. What was the theme? Fear. Right. Last week we were talking about fear, and I was writing about it during the whole week, and I wrote 5 pages where I tried to analyze what is fear, how can I talk about it, how do I understand this. So I also learned lots of materials from Wikipedia, from reading some quotes, and that's exactly the way how I work on developing these topics. So I just take the concept like fear. For example, this week it's law, and I take the concept like law. I start thinking about it. I make some questions. So, for example, I start, what is law? How we can talk about it? What's important here? How law, how people came up with the idea of law? How we can use it in our daily life? Why it's important? how it affects our behavior, how our understanding of law makes our life maybe easier, maybe better. So these are just basic questions. And but I spent, of course, not just a few seconds making them up. I tried to really focus on important questions. For example, I may just make a brainstorming and make up like 10, 15, 20 questions. And during this brainstorming, I'm trying to select the most appropriate questions which can be potentially developed in a like good dialogue, good conversation. And then after that, I just write them down and start thinking about these questions, not just preparing questions and that's all. And let's talk about them in a speaking club. No, I just okay. The first question, like what is law, and it's I can think about this question like for the entire week. So I'm asking myself all the time, what is law? What is law? How do I understand it? How can I describe it? What kind of picture I can make in my mind to focus my attention on this topic and understand it better? Why do I need to understand it better? What it can give me? How I can, it's like I'm trying to make sense out of this concept. So I'm trying to organize all my like knowledge which I have and experience and put my thoughts together, trying to develop this concept, not just like reading something about it and then like taking what's written already on the internet or in some books and just telling to somebody else that it's what it is. No, I just trying to understand how I personally understand the topic, and then I trying to think about it, and also simultaneously, like not simultaneously when I'm thinking, but like during this process. So it's like one process. I launched it at the beginning of the week, and it continues to the end of the week, where I go to speaking club fully prepared for discussion. And I would say I think about these concepts like maybe few hours a day, maybe like sometimes less, sometimes like very little, sometimes a lot. Like in the case of fear, I was thinking about fear for like many hours, maybe like 20 hours during the whole week, maybe more, maybe less, I don't know, but it was like pretty intensive. But the point is that I'm not only just thinking about it and trying to understand it on my own. Of course, I go in the internet, watch some videos. The videos aren't really like I prefer to start from reading Wikipedia and to learn something through reading, not just through videos. But videos, yeah, it's sure it's an amazing way to learn. But as I said, I don't use it like okay. Maybe it's doesn't refer to every topic, because some topics they have a lot of interesting video around them, and some of them they just, for example, last time fear, I haven't found anything really interesting about fear, because there was lots of people, they were talking, and I mean I haven't found really something profound. I watched several videos, like maybe 10-15 videos, short videos, like 5-10 minutes, and the people mostly were talking how to get rid of fear, how to manage your fear, and they try to teach other people how to deal with fear, with their fears, and mostly with their irrational fears, because lots of people have some phobias, and other people make